also learning it. So how many of you have heard or seen live MOOC? Okay, good. All right. Who has heard of a MOOC? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So when we talked about ubiquitous language learning, we're not just talking about language learning, but learning in general. Learning is globalized. And that's what MOOCs represent. They are massive, open, online courses, and they represent what are called the 21st century universities. Learning can take place anywhere and in large numbers with these MOOCs. They are free, they are open to anyone. When I say lots of students are taking these courses, I'm talking of 190,000 students taking one course. I'm going to give you some more examples. This is mind-boggling, and there's more information coming out every single day. So watch the developments in technology regarding MOOCs. So we're going to learn a little bit more about them. What is a MOOC?
The massive open online course is a response to the challenges faced by organizations and distributed disciplines at a time of information overload. It used to be that when you wanted to know about something, you could do a few things. You could ask someone, you could buy a book, you could try to figure it out for yourself, or you could call a school. If that school offered the course and the thing you were trying to figure out, you could go there and take it. You could get access to information about a topic. An instructor would comb through journals and books to pull the information together from a library. You might even find others who are also interested in the same things that you are. The MOOC is built for a world where information is everywhere, where a social network obsessed with the same thing that you are is a click away, a digital world. A world where an internet connection gives you access to a staggering amount of information. This video will introduce you to how a massive open online course is one way of learning in a networked world. A MOOC is a course, it's open, it's participatory, it's distributed, and it supports lifelong networked learning.
Okay, MOOCs are not blended learning. They are a kind, it's a new variant of distance learning. And so they allow one single teacher to teach tens or even hundreds of thousands of students. But it's in the traditional form of teaching with video-based lectures. And so this is now the rage all over the United States. MOOCs are offered by organizations, and I'll just read some to you so that you recognize them when you see them again. Coursera, I think there's a pun here. Coursera. MIT-X, you recognize MIT. Udacity is offered by someone a professor from Stanford, but he left Stanford University. Khan Academy, Udemy, EDX, and more. And the institutions are the large, globally recognized institutions in the United States. Stanford University, California Institute of Technology, Princeton University, MIT, Harvard, Berkeley, and others. There are more coming online daily. The courses are offered in a wide variety of subject areas: math, science, economics, statistics, computer science, just to name a few. Not languages yet, but I will show you some things for English as well. They distribute learning all over the globe. All work is shared among all participants. The founders of these MOOCs believe in the democratization of learning and network connections and free education. And so the largest number of users are actually in developing countries, specifically in Africa. Generally, these MOOCs do not award credits. They do not offer the credits that, for example, Stanford University or MIT recognize for courses, for a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or a PhD. This changed, however, just what is today, the 17th? 7 days ago, this changed. When the first university in the United States, Colorado State University, announced on its global campus that it would be awarding credit for courses taken through MOOCs. So in other words, the entire higher education model is scheduled to change at any point in time. Remember, I call these disruptive technologies. This is going to disrupt traditional modes of delivering higher education. These MOOCs have also been criticized because they follow the traditional top-down lecture mode, very teacher-centered, and they lack human contact. However, they have received wide publicity because they make e-learning possible on a very wide scale and freely available to anyone who cannot afford going to Stanford or MIT or even St. Michael's College, or even taking a TESOL course that I'm teaching. Security is an issue at this point, and they readily admit that. But there will be ways developed to to provide security for those. And interestingly enough, I just found out before coming here, Udacity, one of those MOOCs, is forming a partnership with Pearson. Is anybody here from Pearson? Okay. Pearson's VUE testing center for making security possible in MOOC. Okay? All right, we need to move on. So there's more on MOOCs and ubiquitous learning. As I said, they take advantage of ubiquitous learning and mobility. And here is one video that I have by the founder of Udacity. His name is Sebastian Frun. He is German, which is my background actually. So I was very surprised, I recognized the accent immediately. I didn't know that it was founded by a German, but it was. So just a couple of statistics. A few weeks after he launched this in January 2011, Udacity had more than 160,000 students enrolled in over 190 countries. Okay, and with that I'd like to have a video.
If you've attended or sent kids to college, then you know how quickly the expenses can soar to tens of thousands of dollars a year. But a new startup called Udacity is hoping to disrupt the education system by using the economics of the internet to offer university-level education at little or no cost. And just a few weeks after Udacity launched, it had more than 160,000 students in more than 190 countries enrolled in their first class. Joining us now to discuss Udacity is co-founder Sebastian Frun, also a Google Fellow and Vice President and Research Professor of Computer Science at Stanford. Sebastian, thanks so much for being here. Great to have you.
It's a pleasure.
So you've been doing this now for more than 6 months. What do you think surprised you most about this whole experience?
It's the emails from our students is by far the most surprising thing. We reach students in all over this America, the entire world, 190 countries, and many of them have no access to high-quality education. They're really craving to get something that educates them. I've been moved by many of my students' emails.
What's interesting is education is one of the few areas that hasn't been disrupted by technology in ages. The lecture style.
Okay, you've got the link. If you are interested in the entire video, go ahead and visit it there, okay? I'm going to move on. Okay, and we're going to look at some MOOCs for English language learning. So these are more particular. They're not offered through those that I mentioned, Khan Academy or Coursera, but some specialized sites. Ingvid.com is free. It claims, I haven't checked this, but it claims that over 10 million ESL students worldwide access its lessons. At this point, when I checked, they claimed 403 video lessons, and each week they're adding 3 for 3 different levels. So they've got beginner, and intermediate and advanced. They've also got 4 skills and business English, they've got IELTS, and they've got TOEFL classes. italki is a little bit more interactive. So you actually interact with a person for spoken and written feedback and corrections. The third one, ESOL courses, here at the bottom, is British. And as you can see, it offers lessons in various skill areas at any level and at any age group. So the age groups are mentioned right here. So what does this mean for the skills that our learners need to have? Remember the question from the beginning? What are the implications of those fast evolving technologies and habits of the 21st century learners for education? So we said the first one was ubiquitous learning. The second implication relates to the competencies and skills that not only the learners but also the teachers must bring to the table in order for this to be effective. Remember, their jobs are going to be outdated very quickly. Their skills are going to be outdated. So what we need to teach them has to be for the future. So here are 21st century skills. And as Carl Frisch said in that video, we are currently preparing our students for jobs and technologies that don't even exist yet. So what we need to prepare them for are collaboration, communication, critical thinking and problem solving, creativity and invention, global awareness, information and technology literacy, and autonomous learning. I think all of those are critical, and I see it more and more every day in my own classroom. And so earlier we mentioned, somebody mentioned Web 2.0 tools, and that's where we're going with this. Now, something else that I thought was really important to pull in was the standards of technology for all. And these are by the International Association, let's see, it's the ISTE standards, and that stands for, let's see, ISTE, International Society for Technology in Education. And they call these the NETs. There are NETs, which means National Educational Technology Standards for students, for teachers, for administrators. They also have them for coaches, and they have them for computer science teachers as well. But I found these very important because those are the 3 most important stakeholders, the learners, the teachers, and administrators that work together. And quoting from the ISTE website, the benefits of using these standards in your classes, they improve higher order thinking skills, such as problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. They prepare students for the competitive global job market. They prepare them to design student-centered. They prepare the teachers to design student-centered, project-based, and online learning environments. They guide, for administrators in particular, systemic change in our schools to create digital places of learning. And they inspire digital age professional models for working, collaborating, and decision-making. So I try very much to implement these items for the students, the technology standards. I'm still trying very hard, but sometimes not being very successful in helping my fellow teachers get to the same point, and the administrators as well, because some of them are teachers and administrators. So how can we achieve all of this? Well, we need to provide access to cutting-edge technologies. Our students sometimes are ahead of us in this. By encouraging experimentation in our classes with our projects, and I know you're using project-based learning at the Colombo, which is great, working into this, so that's great. By training teachers in the pedagogical uses of technology, my pet peeve, teachers learn how to use the tools, but they don't learn how to use the technology for pedagogical purposes. By promoting communities of practice in order to facilitate professional development. Here are the Web 2.0 tools that we were talking about. I'm sure you recognize some of them, right? Okay. Now I'm going to start. Who has seen this representation of Bloom's taxonomy, which is the new one, the digital taxonomy built around the new revised Bloom's taxonomy? Do you know what I'm talking about, Bloom's taxonomy? Okay, good. Who has seen the digital version of this? Just a couple of you. Okay, so we start at the bottom here, and this is the revised taxonomy. It's got 6 steps, okay? It's a pyramid of 6 level within the cognitive domain. You start with recall and remembering, and then it goes at the lowest level, and then it keeps getting more complex. And up here, this used to be the top one in the old 1952 Bloom's taxonomy, used to be at the top, but now we've got creating. And I like that a lot because project-based learning is all about creating. And it means that you are putting all of these pieces together. When students work together, they look at things for recall. They try to understand. They work collaboratively in applying something to a new project. They analyze information. They evaluate its usefulness and throw things out that are not applicable. And then they create something new. And so the creative part is actually where learning is synthesized, and that is critical thinking. And so the Web 2.0 technology tools that allow us to do that, you see some of them here. You know, Skype could be used to create new things. I don't particularly use it for that. But I use wikis. Okay, so the link that you